They want you to be trapped and to be enslaved in the box that they have created, and that box is the matrix. So you live your life at best from paycheck to paycheck. So you wake up in the morning, 5 a.m., you're leaving home, and you come back and you have to close 5 a.m. in the evening. And you get home, it's around 6:30, 8 a.m., and you are so exhausted. They drain all the life out of you. You go to pension at the age of 50, 55, 60 years. And because they drain all the energy out of you, you become sick. And when you become sick, the same elite build the pharmaceutical companies and they build the hospitals. Then they give you pension, and you use the pension to go to their hospitals, and they take the money back. So they tell you what to eat. So they know that what they are making you eat over a 40-year period will make you sick. But because it is not an instantaneous action, you cannot connect it that they are giving the sickness. And then the same people go and create the hospitals and go and create a big pharma company waiting for you, that because they know automatically what you are eating for the past 40 years will end you up sick. So they make a provision to take that money from you. Don't you get the system? And I am telling you, the only way you can escape this created box of metrics to make you a zombie and a puppet is to connect to your divine source of intelligence. And in that divine source of intelligence, if it is Coca-Cola if it is soda you have to drink, they will tell you that this time drink soda. And when you drink it, it is good for your body. If it is spaghetti you have to eat, at a certain point in time, they tell you, now you take it for today. And at that time, when you take it, it is good for your body. It's going to serve a purpose. Because your diet system is controlled by that sublime intelligence, which is your creator. For all our hope that we put on sciences and their researches with empirical evidence, what has it brought us? More sick people and more sick people. Because the scientific research, the scientific research, who funds that scientific research and who paid for those institutions? It is the same elites who pays for them. So they tell you what they want you to hear, and they show you what they want you to eat in order to become what they want you to become and attain the health they want you to attain in order to get to the destination of hospital where they want you to get to and take the drugs that they want you to take. And ultimately, you die out. And then they'll give you a death certificate. Why would they create a death certificate? So the day you are born, they must know that somebody like this is born. So you are part of the trade. So the day they know they are finished with you, they know you are out of the system. By which then they have milked every good out of you. They milk your intelligence, they milk your strength, they milk your energy, they milk your money, they milk everything out of, and at the end of the day, they milk the life out of you. This is the system we live. So if you think that all these elites, I don't want to mention specific names, all those elites you think they are going to space, creating cyber humanoids, creating this thing, creating Alisa, creating all these things for human comfort, you are lying. I'm telling you today, it's a lie. All those things is to your detriment. What has become of our intelligence when back in the days when we could keep a lot of phone numbers in our head? With the advent of mobile phone, most of the people's brains are dying. How many people can memorize 20 phone numbers in their head and can call it off head? Now, even when you want to make mobile money, you have to write the number somewhere. But back in the days, we used to call people's number off head when we were using the phone booth and there was no mobile phones. Our minds could keep hundreds of numbers. Gradually, they are killing your intelligence. Now, children of today, they come home, they are giving homework and they want to go to Google. They don't read no more. They are killing your intelligence. Well, when a child is reading, the sense of sight is working. The intellect is working. The hand is reading the book is working. All the parts of your senses are working. They are connected. And as they function, it's like practice. They become better and they become improved. So a child who likes reading learns the ability to pay attention to details. A child who does not like reading lacks the ability to pay attention to details. So it is necessary that we must be aware and to connect that awareness to our divine source. And they want you to believe that there's nothing like a divine source. But all that there is your intellect. Why? Because they have taken control. They are putting systems in place to control your mind. And they know that very soon they are going to take away your mind from you. So now they are developing what? Brain chips. It's a pity. Now they are developing brain chips. Now they implant the chip into your brain and that chip contains programs. I was watching a video, I don't know how far it is true, it has been alleged that they have a car they call the God voice. When they bring this car into this vicinity, it begins to transmit information telepathically and you think God is speaking to you. See, they use it in the United States. I don't know how far it is true. I got up about the video. They call it the God voice. Either the God voice or God is speaking. So it is inherent within their DNA, their gene, thinking that you are the product. And they have to use you. When they want to use you, they have to sell you. When they want to sell you, they want to buy you. If they buy you when they want to buy you. That is why now they can pick human beings, they call them players, and they are going to sell the player. You are selling a human being. You say they call you, they are loaning, they loan this person to this team. It is business. You don't understand what is going on. Go and read about the Roman Empire, the arena. Human beings were being traded to fight in the arena. So if I feel you have somebody who's stronger, come and trade, and it's a whole business on this one. But just that this time around, it is legalized. It is legalized human trade, and you wake up and you say that somebody is doing child trafficking. When you pick somebody from Ghana who's a good footballer, and they say, this is my product. They call the human being my product. Then they prepare a card for that product. And they say, I'm going to sell my player to this team in the Europe. And after that player playing in Europe for some time, the European team said that, well, I have loaned him to a team in China. It's a pity. I've loaned him to a team in China. It's human trade. You must understand the system. You must understand the system. For some of us, when we look and we see what is going on, it's a pity. And to be able to get to this level of awareness, you need to connect to the source of intelligence. Otherwise, we will have something they call hidden truth in plain sight. Hidden truth in plain sight. They are doing the thing in daylight, and they are hiding the truth in the daylight. That if you don't have sublime intelligence, you don't have divine intelligence, there is no way you can identify it. There is no way you can identify it. We call it hidden truth in plain sight. And that is why some people can sell their soul to the devil and they don't know they have sold their soul to the devil. We call it hidden truth. And a lot of hidden truth is happening in our world today in a plain sight. It's plain. The thing is happening plain. Nothing has changed in our world. Just that things has been modified and has been improved. Isn't it? Before they used to come to Africa, use forceful means to come and pick us as slaves. Now they call it green card entry or something like that. Now we're not going to pick you as slaves no more. We put a loftier, enticing structures in place that you come and enslave yourself. Before they call it colonization, they come to colonize you. Now they are not doing colonization no more. They are doing also neo-colonization, colonizing them through the way they think. So the truth is always there in the plain sight. But until you have the grace for you to have a divine connection, then they're going to explain things to you. And that is why most people, when they travel outside the country, you have less and less number of people being able to come and resettle back in Africa. Why? Because the slaves are never let on out of the cotton farm. You have to die in the cotton farm. And they have to drain you and drain you and drain you until you become useless to the cotton farm. Then eventually you die and you're buried. And that is why. And it's a modernized system of slavery. And that is why most people who travel to this nation, Western world, they are unable to come back home. Because almost and they deal with energy. They understand that this life is run by energy. How many people, when they go to Brazil, I'm going to resettle in Ghana or come to settle in Africa forever? And they justify their inability to break away from that psycho enslavement with the excuse that African leaders and African politicians, they are bad. But we are living here all our lives. We are building our houses here. We are living our lives here. Even the whites, some of them are going to come and stay here. So that is not an excuse. The excuse is that you are trapped within the mental framework. And they put structures and system in place that you become enslaved to that structures and system. In that you cannot live out of that space because of the structures and system they put in place. Oh, everything is on, the systems are working. The systems are working because they need that system to control you, to enslave you. You took wine, eko pesika ebe yefi. You took wine enko ka obi mindso. And the only reason why utukwana koka obi mindso is because the system has enslaved you. And it has separated you from. Listen, I know people who have traveled outside. They left their children and their wives here. And then they die there and they carry the corpse. You see, said, if you don't understand the system, you think you have a justifiable reason for doing what you are doing. And then you are trapped within the circle of that eons of reincarnation. And the only way you can break away from this, you see, this Sam Kofoyi, they sat down and they properly thought of the system and created the system. So if you are not previewed to inner knowledge and inner information, the system will easily control you. it's a pity to betray yourself like that. So you need to develop yourself to get out of that their shackles. The chains that they've, kind of enslaved our emotions and our intellect. We need to get out of that enslavement. The new colonial enslavement, we need to get out of it. That's what Bob Marley said. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. That is why Kwame Nkrumah talked about neo-colonialism. Because he is aware of colonialism. He said, and we are not ignorant of their other devices, such as neo-colonialism, controlling the people through their minds. In Africa, they use neo-colonialism to control every wealth in Africa. So, any new president they take, the first envoy to visit that president is what? IMF, International Monetary Fund. International Monetary Fund belongs to an individual. It belongs to people. It is not for the world. It's a private owned property, and they parade it as if it belongs to the whole world. International Monetary is somebody's company. And this, our leaders are aware. But because of the new psycho enslavement, they cannot simply say no. They just can't say no. Just as a lot of individuals who have not attained personal independence can't say no to the system. Let us awaken from our slumber. Let us awaken our awareness. Let us awaken our consciousness. They can't awaken the consciousness. And yet, social media awaken your consciousness, awaken your consciousness. And yet, we're talking about real inner awakening, where you begin to see things through the minds of divinity, and you begin to see life the way the divine energy intended it to be. Not the kind of awakening you go and do ayahuasca. It's not an awakening. Not the kind of awakening you say you are doing soul projection. It's not an soul projection. Is not an awakening. Soul journey is not an awakening. Astral projection is not an awakening. I am saying so because I have done astral projection before. I have documented. If you could also come around, I show to them. I have a lot of information I got out of astral projection. It's not an awakening because astral does not transcend the intellect. And true awakening happens beyond the intellect. And beyond the intellect, there's nothing like soul. What the soul is below it is the constitution of all the lower part, the emotions, the senses, and the intellect brought together forms your personality, which is the soul. So when you soul journey, where do you journey? Just go. Real awakening is beyond consciousness. That's why I said we are going to treat what lies beyond consciousness and beyond what lies beyond consciousness. Your consciousness is the culmination of all the lower knowledge that peaks. You see, when all the lower knowledge gets to its peak and oneness, is what we call consciousness or awakening. It is now the beginning of what actually is, which is the beingness of intelligence. And it is only those in the sleeping state, awakening state, and all those things have to awaken their consciousness. When the consciousness is awakened, that is where you begin the real journey of intelligence. That is dealing without form, or dealing within the realm of formlessness, pure intelligence. And it takes only pure intelligence to control the physical dimension. And that is why ayahuasca are still problems and call here. Why sojourners are still problems for her. Why astral projectors are still the problems are still there. Because no problem within the physical dimension can be solved with these measures. The only antidote that can solve all the problems within this physical dimension is pure intelligence, which is beyond consciousness. I'm not saying astral projection is bad. I practiced it before. I will teach some people how to practice it. I'm not saying that soul travel is wrong. No. I'm not saying ayahuasca is wrong. No. Even if I have my own reservations because it's a psychogenic activity. I'm not saying it is wrong. Even though I have my own reservation because of its psychedelic effect. Well, it's all has to do with hallucinative experiences, which is a realm of illusion created by the figment of your own thought frequency. Because of the portions and the drugs that you take in, or you smoke it through your nostrils, and then heightens your level of perception, and then more neurons are activated within your brain cells, and the electrons are projected, and the electrical process within your brain faculty is activated, and it triggers you out of the 3D reality, and begin to hallucinate and have certain inner, so-called inner experiences or inner journey. But it's all happening within a state of your own figment of imagination. And that is why normally when you go there, they will ask you to meditate and think about something, because you came there with a problem. So you meditate and all those things after some time before that way they are going to use the hallucinogenic portion for you to drink. Some of them uses the poisonous, the poisonous mushroom mixed with marijuana, different portions. Some come from Peru, some come from the Mayan areas in South Brazil and all those places. All those things are psychedelic activities, and they are all hallucinogenic. When I say hallucinogenic, it simply means hallucination. So I have my own reservations, knowing where I'm coming from, but I'm not saying it is bad. That's not what I'm saying. You get it? That's not what I'm saying. When we were in school, I have used marijuana to do tea before. I know how the experience is like. When I used my first time, I used marijuana. Accidentally, a friend of mine soaked it in tea and all those things, and then back in 25 something years ago, and then I didn't know he used to do Tom Brown. Okay, so when I came, I said, Charlie, I want to try it again. So you can't take it. I said, no, why? What do I can't take it? I said, when you're Bema. But all that, when it was saying, my mind didn't go to that. So his name, and he gave me the Tom Brown, and I ate. I slept for 3 days. I'm the only one who knows the experiences that I had in my inner journey for the 3 days. I was off for 3 days. I wake up and my eyes is closed, go and wee, and then come back to sleep again for 3 days. And I alone know the kind of inner experiences I had. You understand? So when I came to the journey, I said, oh, okay, that's how I had the experience already. So when I came across ayahuasca, I knew, okay, this is how it works. Okay, so yes, this is how it, and I think lately I was talking to a lady friend of mine, and we were talking, and he also was sharing the experience. The first time somebody directed him that menstrual cramps, when you have menstrual cramps, it can take care of your menstrual pain. So I think he took overdose of the marijuana soaking tea. And he said instantly, I said, no, you're not lying, because I had that experience before. He said instantly he got out of the body. He saw his body sitting down. He saw himself separated. And then he saw himself in the Grammys, because she's a musician. She saw herself in the Grammys, singing in the Grammys, because she has always dreamt to go to the Grammys. So she was only hallucinating. We call it hallucinogenic activities. It's all happening within your mind state. The kind of problems you have and the kind of solutions when the problem, it triggers you and begins to create false reality. So he saw himself in the Grammys. He saw bought a White House, a very beautiful White House in Trasaco, because she loves white colors. You understand? And having so much experiences and all those things, and there's this quiet and serene, having an encounter with certain energies and all those things, only for her to come back to the body, realize that she's been taken to the hospital. And she was hallucinating. While she were in the hospital, she was somewhere having her own experiences. So yes, these things are there. But they are not conscious activities, though they are fake. They are not real. And that is why you go through all these experiences and still nothing changes. Your problem are still there. Things are still staring in your face. You don't have any relevant and tangible solutions to solve your everyday problem. But I am telling you, there is a source. There is a source. And that source is real. That source is a source of sublime intelligence. And that source of sublime intelligence has the ability to help you solve every problem in your lifetime without necessarily getting into astral projection, without necessarily getting into soul travel, and without necessarily going to the ayahuasca activities. I am telling you and I'm giving you that assurance. It is there. And listen, the just recent class we ended, the personal development class, people are giving wonderful experiences, wonderful testimonies. And they are using it to solve real-time, everyday problem. And they don't do soul travel, they don't do astral projection, they don't do ayahuasca, they do nothing. Sometimes human beings, we don't want the truth. What is there that is so good that as you drive on the way, they tell you what to do and what not to do? When there's a trouble coming and how to escape. What is so good that being in the house and there's a problem and instantly they tell you what to do whilst the problem is going on? You are waiting till you take a portion before you project. What if there's no portion to project? You are waiting to sit down and take, this is you are going to do soul projection before solution. We are talking about something that you have the solution instantaneously whilst the problem is happening. Even in the middle of danger of death, you are being spoken to. And myself, this is just February, I gave that testimony. I was electrocuted for several minutes. And when I was electrocuted, when in the midst, we are talking about our own testimonies, things that we have experienced. In the midst of our electrocution, when we are electrocuted and we are standing on the rain is falling on us and our body is wet and we are electrocuted and stuck to the bugger-proof. They were still talking to us. Stop doing this. Do this way. Focus your thought here. Do this one. And through that process, we followed that process and then we were liberated. And we got off the hook from the electrocution. So when we tell you what we are saying, we know what you are talking about. Real time. You be in the company and something is happening and instantaneously say, do this, do that. This. You be in a company, somebody frames you up and instantaneously they tell you what to do. Don't say this, keep quiet, don't respond. See this person. This is what we are talking about. Real-time solutions. And you don't want this. And you want always the fake one. Because you see, the problem we have as a people is we have lived our lives, all our lives, based on the tangible facts. Oh, your life now, we've lived based on what we see. So one time, na me ma baby no more. Now, one say okra na ko baby, you think it's not real. Because you have lived all our lives based on tangible facts. That's why Jesus told his followers, he said, blessed are they that believe in the word. Blessed are they that believe before they sin. They see. Blessed are they who believe before they see. So in the real sense, blessed are they that believe in the unseen, or that is able to connect to the realm of non-tangibility. Because life must be lived from the subtle dimension to the tangible dimension, to the non-obvious to the obvious. But because all our lives, we have been disconnected from that aspect of, or that paradigm of life, we've dealt with only the tangible world, it is very difficult when we want to deal with this thing. And we rather want to pay any price and any amount for things which are inferior within the tangible space than things which are intangible. Yet, the viability and the authenticity of everything happening within the realm of tangibility comes from the non-tangible world. So everything which is manifesting in this world here comes from here. But the energy flows from here at the top here, okay, then enters into this space, which is the vowel space, which is the crown. Okay, then it enters into this space, which is the third eye center, then enters into the throat center before it enters into the heart. From the heart, which is the realm of emotion, it comes into manifestation. Don't forget that I told you that emotions bring about manifestation, and emotions are influenced by thought. And thought picks its frequency from the non-seen, and this is the gateway to the non-seen. So the non-seen intelligence comes here and enters through the gate of the non-seen, then goes into the thought. So this is where duality is created. Beyond this place is the unit, is the oneness. Once that intelligence, which is oneness, with that polarity, hits into this dimension, which is the crown, it is splitted into two, negative and positive, good and evil, male and female. Then once it hits here and splits into the two, we call it splits into duality. So when it splits into duality, it feeds into this place, which is the third eye. That's why the third eye, or the mind's eye, sits in between the two brains, the polarity of the intelligence. And then from there, it feeds down to your throat. Okay, so that's why we speak intelligence, we speak knowledge, and we speak truth, or we speak lie. Lie is of the negative polarity, truth is of the positive polarity, and they are the opposite of the same thing. And then it comes to truth, and when truth speaks it out, it hits your heart, which is the feeling. When it hits here, definitely it will manifest. If you cannot stop it till it hits here. So when somebody tells you something, speak something which is fearful, and you cannot block it, and it enters into your heart, which is the feeling field, definitely you become terrified, begin to shake, because it has hit your feeling field. And whatever hits the feeling field, it will manifest. And this is the beginning of the realms of tangibility. And finally comes into real manifestation, which is the world of senses. This is the whole secret I've told you. And this is how you create all things within manifest creation. And this is how you have control within manifest creation. This is non-religious. This is not, it is life. It is in every soul. We call it energy centers. This is how we function as a human being. For the years, they have been talking about energy center, but they don't tell you how. Maybe I will take time to really treat it well. They don't tell you how you can use the energy center to cause manifestation. And that is why people watch the video, the secret, the laws of attraction, the laws of manifestation, and nothing is happening because they don't understand the flow of the energy. You can listen to it and do all the imagination, visualization. If you don't understand the flow of the energy and how to open the gates for it to come to manifestation, it's totally a waste of time. And that's why a lot of people do those things and still they don't have any results. But there's something missing. And that which is missing is the understanding of how the cosmic current flow from the state of non-duality to the state of duality and to the state of multiplicity. Here is the state of multiplicity, multiple world or multiverse, multi-dimensions. So here, that's why we are the 3D dimensions. Everything is operating in form, time, and space. You understand? So this is how you need to understand yourself. And you have the right to live your life. You have the right to control your world. You have the right to control your space. When I say your world is the people you have as friends, the work you do, the family you have, the siblings you have, the children you have, the spouse you have, and the strangers that comes into your space. This is your world, and you have been given the power and the dominion to have control over this world. That has been created. When God took Adam and Eve, He placed them into the Garden of Eden and gave them power over that world, not their world. So when you have control over your world, I have control over my world. Abraham has control over his world. Paul has control over his world. Everybody has control. Michael has control over his world. When each and every soul, 7 billion plus people have control over their world, humanity have control over what? Over the macro world. So we have to control our micro world individually. Collectively put together, we have control over the macro world. And this is the missing code. Let us create for him to have dominion over the world. So one man wants to control the whole world. Then makes a mess out of it. One man wants to control the whole world. And that is not what the knowledge is saying. You must control your micro world. Every micro entity has a micro world. And you must be able to control that micro world. So when I control my micro world, my wife controls her micro world, Abraham controls her micro world, my son Paul controls his micro world, Brother Michael controls his micro world, Moses controls his micro world. Collectively, we control the macro world, which is the bigger world, because we are in control at the departmental level. We would have to take time and also enter into delve down deep into those things. And for your micro world, not the macro, but for your micro world, you have no excuse for not being able to control it. Because all that it takes, all the intelligences that it takes, all the skill that it takes, all the talent that it takes, all the knowledge that it takes, you already have it embedded within your being to control this micro world. And the fact of the matter is, if you don't gain mastery in controlling this micro world, somebody else will take advantage and control your micro world for you. So the person will be controlling two worlds. And that's why somebody who employs you controls what happens in your home. Because today, if you come home and say this month is not paying you salary, there's no food on your table in the house. So he's controlling his world and he's controlling your micro world. So if you don't develop yourself early enough in order to have control over your micro world, somebody else's development will use it to control your micro world. And that is why you have lost control over your micro world. So anything that happens, you have to run to a pastor, a prophet. Even some lady, before they'll have an interaction with their husband in terms of marital obligation, they have to seek consent from their prophet. This is how vulnerable you become when you don't develop yourself to control your micro world. You will always be at the mercy of those who claim that they have developed themselves to control their micro world. Where he has a prototype, he has done his, he has a prototype, he will use it to control. So when you get to a person who is not benevolent in heart, and he hasn't got love and compassion in his heart, instead of teaching you how to control your micro world, you will take advantage of it, and then he will control your micro world. So you realize there are people who, they are pastors, they are spiritual people, control their finances. Or talk about before we check out, they all come a prophet and a pastor and a spiritual person 7-3 months. You get it. Or the contract, you can't come out also for be an prophet, be say, on 3 days fasting. Now, also, 3 days fasting, Buso. You understand? I remember some clients came to me, and the client has a huge sum of money. And he came to me and she was like, "Semester, this way to Banam, guys, I'm in your bank. Catch a plane. Guys, go open an account, put it in your bank. When you're ready, go use your money." But we all go to some profit, don't have spiritual is being. I want guys cannot find by a corporate concert, you will see Canada. Now one guys offer billions. As if I'm kind the money I'm talking about is billions. And you say 10,000 and 20,000. It's a lot of money. So my young is a best do scan man keep his canon. In due time, we will be at night. I said, no amount of prayer protects money. The only way to protect money is put it at the bank. No amount of ritual, no amount of prayer protects money. The only way money is well protected and secured is put it at the bank. The rest of it, or you will not have interest, but your money, you would always have it. So to go and put the money at the bank. If there's any prayer we need to do, we'll do it. Prayer is timeless, it's boundless. Wherever the money is, you can send it to go there. But for the money, go and put it at the bank. This is how they exploit people, because you don't have control over your micro world. And she took the money. Because you don't have control over your micro world. If I was a bad guy and all those extortionists and exploiters, I would take advantage of it and maybe both of them I read a story and then I don't want to mention him. She told me she's a spiritual teacher as well. She told me that Obisi or Suma was a spirit be. As I say, no matter how charging for huge sum of money. I feel the capital says do both here now say or the spirit the free I say the you can no $20,000 or say $2,000. I say, hey, now then see, it's pathetic. And pathetic in such a way that things that you would do when you lack control over your micro world is pathetic. And that's why I'm telling you, wake up. For far too long, they've taken advantage of you. Both the spiritualists, the politicians, the pastors, and the world elites, they've taken advantage of you for far too long. Wake up. Wake up and learn. Bob Marley said, wake up and leave now. Dun, dun, dun. He said, Bob Marley said, wake up and leave. Brothers and sisters, let us wake up from our sleep and slumber. Let us wake up and live. We are not living. We are not living. Let us wake up and live. They've taken advantage of us for far too long. Let's wake up to knowledge. Yes, when you want to do the personality development, it's a school. You have to pay some insignificant fee. So everything, there is a price you have to pay. That's the law of the universe. And I think even now the class, the number I want, I think I have it already. So even if there's anything I will do, it has to be in a message. You understand? Let's wake up. I hope this message has gone down well with you. We've gone past awakening. We've gone past our word. The word. It is not that you are in awakening, but our world has gone past awakening. People are going to move. People are rehabilitating. People are building humanoids, robots that think like human beings. They have GAI, General Artificial Intelligence. They've gone beyond artificial intelligence to general artificial intelligence, where humanoids are given the opportunity to have freelance to think and take their own decisions. So we are not in the awakening state. Those who say we are in the state of then, the state of knowing. We've passed the state of knowing. We are in the state of practice. They are applying. No. They are applying. People are doing things out with the knowingness. The information age is gone. The age of knowledge is gone. The knowledge has come already. The knowledge has already come. The knowledge has already come. Now we all know that we are spirits with souls in a body. The knowledge has come. How do you contact? How do you experience? We are in the age of experience, practicality, practicalizing what you have known. Because very soon, we'll be moving into the age of enlightenment. We are now in the golden age. Because we are in the age of Aquarius. We are not in the age of, we are in the golden age, the age of the advancement in technology. And now we even got to the caps of the golden age. We have gotten to the peak of the golden. That's why human beings are now creating their kind. That if you don't take time, you will not know the human being. Now human beings are creating wives. Human beings are creating artificial wombs. So you've passed the Aquarius, you have passed the age of knowing. We are in the age of practicality. We are in the golden age. We passed the age of Pisces, we passed the age of Aquarius. We are in the golden age. And even with the golden age, we are climaxing the golden age. Meaning we are reaching the apex of civilization. And if you are unable to transcend into the age of enlightenment, where everybody will realize their divinity, the caps will turn, and then the whole cycle of life will restart all over again. When I say the world will come to an end, not that this physical world will be destroyed. It will not be destroyed, but just that the civilization will come, and then we have to go back to the dark age, then rebuild. Everything will be destroyed. When we say everything will be destroyed, without intelligences will be destroyed. You understand? Which the destruction of those intelligences will go with certain lives. Yet there will be lives on this planet that will start all over again. And because all those intelligences has been lost, all those technologies has been lost, man will go back to the dark ages. And then those people will be left who are fortunate enough not to slide with the destruction of the intelligences. We'll have to start life again. Everything will be off. The earth will be there, the heavens will be there, rain will be coming, sun will be shining, moon will be coming. As normal there is. That all that we have created probably may be extincted. So when they say the earth will be destroyed, not that the physical planet earth, but the earth, the world that we have created. They will say this world will be destroyed, not the physical world or God's world or the natural world, but the artificial world that we have created. That is what will be destroyed. That is exactly what I want to explain. It's our world that we have created, which will be destroyed, but not the natural world. And when our world, which the artificial world, man's world that he has created within the natural world, is destroyed, it will go along with certain people. When Florida got burnt and all the properties got burnt, people died and all those things. But still people are there. They will start rebuilding the place. This is how the world will come to an end when we collapse with the intelligence of the golden age and we are able to transcend into the age of enlightenment, where civilized, advanced technology and knowledge will reside in the hands of people who are enlightened, so that they use it for the collective good and stability of our world. Then, if not so, and it only lies in the bosom and the hands of the civilized people, they use it for their selfish end. At the end of the day, it will be self-detrimental. This is what it means by the end of the world. It's not the world as in the natural world, the world that we human beings have created will come to an end. So please, before we get to that, we need more people to become enlightened. So probably our next session, I'll be talking about what enlightened soul is, the true enlightened soul. That's what I wanted to teach today. Enlightened soul, then we talk about integration of the soul. See, unfortunately, the energies took me to a different dimension. Probably maybe for a good reason. Somebody out there needed it. So the next session, we'll treat about enlightenment. Of course, which of course, yes, displays the balance. Now we are talking about enlightened age. So now maybe there's a reason. So because I tell you that always, most of the time I tell that most of the things I see to come and tell you, I don't pre-prepare, I don't pre-plan. Even sometimes when I pre-plan, when I come, everything changes. You understand? So this is what we have. I just pray that you've flown alongside with me in terms of the knowledge, and you've been able to grasp what you need to grasp and retain what you need to retain. And you make more research. There are people teaching similar. And get somebody to be able to connect you. We can do so without fail. But the other people are also very sincere and honest, truthful people who can also do so. Wherever you can find it, get it. But beware of the wolves in sheep's clothing. Beware of the wolves in sheep's clothing. People come to you in the name of spirituality and they don't want to exploit you. Well, they come to you, they can do all these things for you. At the end of the day, they exploit you and they give you something, they tell you it is it. And you also accept that it is it because you don't know how it looks like. A lot of people have come here, they talk about they see the light and all those. I listen to them, I tell them, this is not the light. People have come, I've got initiation from such a person, I see the light. I don't know. What you are seeing, yes, it's a fraction of the light. It's a fragmentation of the light, but that is not the real. So the person tells you it's the real thing. No, it's not the real. So I just want to thank you for your time. We'll bring this streaming to an end. I just want to say thank you for your time. God bless you for everything that you are doing. And it's my prayer that in the near future, you will be able to avail yourself, get yourself connected to that infinite intelligence, so that at the end of the day, we all will partake in the knowledge that we need to partake in. Thank you. God bless you. Stay blessed. We'll meet in our next session.